Good morning. Different kind of video today. We're doing all about backyard plinking and things that you can do to have some fun with your air guns. Things I'd recommend, things I wouldn't, through my obviously knowledge of doing a fair bit of shooting to run the league and what I've found out. Firstly, there's obviously all different kinds of things that you can buy for a bit of backyard plinking. I'll go through things that I wouldn't use at the moment through obviously trial and tested ways. These green shooting boxes that you can get now, you can get the heavy duty ones, you can get all types of these, the pellet catcher boxes. This is the 17-inch one. I haven't had it very long. After a few shots, the weld started to come away on it and it more or less fell to bits, and you'll probably see, if you can imagine from there, how I've had to re-screw it all back together. Same again with the 14cm one, same exactly again. Was great for the first probable 50-60 shots, and then all of a sudden the weld's cracked, couldn't stand it, had to drill it all, screw it back together. I will try and add a little bit on top of this to show you just how bad the welds are. Instead of being proper welds along the lines, they're just TIG welded and they're just not very strong at all. So if you do see these ones on sale, I would avoid those. Another thing I would avoid, you see a lot of these smaller pellet traps and swing systems on sale throughout the UK, eBay and whatever. Same again with these, they will last you probably 50-60 shots and then they stop working. As you can see with that one there, it pulls the middle one up, the middle one's the reset. They just don't work. This one we used to have in the first part of the battle league that we ever had, and after the first 50-60 shots it packed up, it had it, and to be quite honest, they're a massive false economy and I would avoid these if you can. Right, that's just two things that I would avoid. Another one is, I can't bring it in to show you at the moment because we've had heavy rain overnight. We've got our duck hunt machine, slightly bigger than this one. You'll get them on eBay at a bit of a cheaper rate. It's a false economy, don't do it. Buy a good one from either Remington, Walther or one of the better makes out there, maybe Umarex even. But don't try and buy the unbranded cheap ones. I've just gone up the garden with a vernier gauge to measure the thickness of the ducts that we use on that. They're 0.056 microns, which is very thin. They obviously haven't lasted very long. I think we've had about maybe 2 months out the machine and it's worn out and I've got to replace it, and I will show you the replacement shortly. One thing that I do recommend is these. They're great little fun in your garden. We call it our gallery. Now you'll notice that I've put a little bit of a hose pipe on ours, and I'll tell you for why. I did notice that when you hit them, when they hit metal, they bounce back off and shoot back down, which is obviously pointless. It's not really doing what you want it to do. But when it lands on rubber, it grips better. So a little bit of rubber of hose pipe there on the top bar has done it the world of good. When you do hit the reset, it still works exactly the same. It's not too dry to stop it working, so that's completely fine. But you can get these in usually a row of 10, a row of 5, I think there's a row of 7 as well you can also buy. But they're very simply made. They're not, they're not massively over-engineered. They're quite easily made. You can see like it's only a piece of tagged together frame and 2 legs really, and that's it. Not a lot goes into them, but they are really good fun and great. But you do have to sort of modify them a bit to suit yourself, if you know what I mean. So I've had to put just those 2 little bits of hose pipe there to stop the return bounce off those. But they're really good fun and I would recommend one of those. But as I say, do get ready, you may have to do a little bit of modification. We'll change over now to other things that you can have for your backyard plinking, or I don't know if it's things that you've thought about just bear with me. Another good one for all you back garden plinkers is probably something you've seen on the channel, but the spinners. These take hours and hours of, you know, punishment, but they're fantastic. They just hold up to the stress. They're meant to take it. They're made out of thick metal. You'll get these in sets, you know, with all different sizes on the internet. This is one I've just took off the gallery to show people today that we use all the time. As you can tell, it's had, I'll turn it that way actually, because it's usually, I'll paint them red every now and again. It's wearing out a bit at the minute, but they take hours and hours of punishment and they just turn around, reset. Great. As I say, you can buy the sets that start with a big one and work their way down. This is all part of a set. This is one with a big and a little one on. I do use these when I'm setting up a gun, you know, just to test them out to see if they're really well zeroed in. But I do recommend these. As I say, they do take hours and hours of punishment. They're probably for a set about £12, but they're worth it. I would buy some. This all leads us to here where we are now. These are a better quality box. They've been welded inside, so they grip better, hold together. The 14cm boxes, they're a good standard one. Right, some more other things that you may find that are great for your plinking fun. You hit one of these and obviously it goes down and starts to spin. Bit hard to hit, but if you're in a challenge with your friends or anything else, as a matter of fact, let me just turn that around a bit so you can all see it better. As I say, if you hit one, just drop that into there now, stopped it spinning, great stuff. It starts to spin, and the more you hit, the difference it spins. As I say, you've got to get used to which way it's going to go. It's a great bit of fun for in the garden. It's great for a battle for you and your friends. As I say, the more and more you adjust it, the different speeds, obviously the rotation will go, so that makes it really good fun. Right, we'll just take that one out of the way. Obviously we've got, as well, as you know, we use these in our battle leagues that hunt. Purchased a new one and didn't last very long, the last one, and I've got to admit I've just got the vernier out to measure the thickness of the steel on this one that I've just purchased. It's exactly the same as the last one, so again it looks like I tried to buy it from a reputable company, but they're still only 0.056 gauge on there, so they're not going to last very long. I can guarantee you the next one I buy, it'll be a Remington or something of that, something that can take the sort of punishment I need it to take. But this again won't cut the mustard, I'm afraid, but I have bought it, I will use it, I may as well. So that's another one. But good garden plinking fun these are, if you've got the room to do it in your back garden. Great bit of fun. Obviously you knock one down, it sticks, and if I just reach around there, if you hit the middle one, it shoots up, resets. But yeah, they're great fun. Anything that resets saves you a lot of time and messing around, I find, so always look for anything that's resettable. Well, that's my little venture into what you can do with your back garden plinking. Obviously the other things that you may wish to consider. Targets. Now, I prefer to use these ones with the 5 targets on. Once you've had one game with the normal targets with a single target on, they're done really, they're at it, that's it. These have got 5 targets on, so you can usually get 5 games out of a card, which is great. I either use the Jack Pipe ones or there's the Boisley ones there. The Boisley ones donated by good people from DAI. We've been using those recently in the Battle League. They're very, very, I would say, very noticeable because they're coloured, they're blue and red. The Jack Pipe ones are in black and white and they're great, but I do find these a lot better for, you know, for vision. You can see these a lot easier, you can see when you've hit a bullseye. So I find these a lot better, the coloured ones from Boisley. But those are the ones I'd recommend. As I say, you can get plenty of targets with just one single target on. But once you've had, what, 10-12 shots, they all of a sudden they become redundant because you're usually putting in a pellet over the top of a pellet. Whereas these, you can have 5 to 10 shots at each target, and they're still, you know, with 5 you get like 50 shots really, instead of a standard 12 out of a single one. So I'd recommend, if you're going to buy some, buy the 5 ones. These are better. Anyway, that's our visit today into backyard plinking fun. Hope I've given you a few ideas of what you can do and things that are out there to entertain you with fun. These are a lot of the things I use myself. I mean, there is things that I don't use. I mean, if you're in a well open space, you can use exploding targets. They're about £1 each, I believe now. You hit them, they make a right racket and they do explode. You can also use like a little clay chalk target that obviously explodes now as soon as you hit it. I hear those are good fun. Again, I find they're just a little bit expensive for what I do, but some people will enjoy them. There's things you can build yourself. I mean, these kind of things, the reset ones, more likely actually, you know, the spinners. If you've got a set of old spoons, I don't want you to go out and pinch all granny spoons now and drill holes in them, but if you can bend them and put them on a string, when you hit them they'll spin over and come back actually to where they was before. They're like a resettable spinner. But don't go out now and pinch all the missus's spoons, because she will kill you, trust me on this. I've tried it. There's hanging around somewhere, I better not say much. But yeah, there's a few other little ideas there that you can use, of course, but there is a lot more than what I've mentioned today on the market, and there is things you can do. But don't ever count out the simple things, like the bottle tops that are free. Everybody has bottles and, you know, bottle tops in their house. If you want to just line them up on a piece of wood out in the garden and shoot them, besides the pellets that you're shooting, that's all it's going to cost you really. And it's a nice, cheap, easy plinking, and it's a toy if you think about it. It's just a round circle, it's a target, same kind of thing, so it's good fun. But you can go into, like, you know, things that we've tried out today. They're a little bit more expensive but just as fun. But my advice to you is, I mean, keep it as cheap as possible. Air gunning can be an expensive sport. The last thing you want to do is keep forking out and forking out and forking out. It becomes an expensive game. So keep it as simple and as cheap as you possibly can. Just showing like a few things earlier on with these green targets that I bought. I bought them off eBay from a company who they sounded great value. Like, so I needed a 17cm one for our 7-hole round 5 that we use in the Battle League, and they seemed reasonable for what they was. But obviously, when you've got to spend most of your time drilling them and screwing them back together after a few shots, they're not good at all. They're a false economy. You may as well try and buy an heavy duty one. I believe if you check around, you'll get the FAC ones, which are more or less solid steel. They're meant to take proper rim fire. If you can afford them, they will last you for years. You may as well go and buy an FAC one. They'll hold a 14cm target just the same, but they'll last forever. They're probably, it's not a false economy to pay out dear in the start, if you know what I mean. I've done it with these a few times now. It looks like this was delivered today and I was expecting it to be of a better quality, but it's not. I shall actually go out and fetch one last time, take my vernier with me and make sure it is of a good quality, because it's just no good. As I said, I thought this one was going to be a decent one. It's just the same as the old one, so it's not going to last very long, but we'll use it till it dies and that'll be it. The swing targets that I showed you earlier, which was this fella down here, I'm thinking of using this if we should ever come to a draw in the Battle League. We'll probably have the first knock down 3 ducks, you know, something like that, and just to make it a bit of fun right at the end there if it should be a draw. Rambled on enough. Thank you all for your time today. Hope this has been, you know, an insight in what you can do into your back garden. But as I say, never count out what you can do yourself. Thanks for listening. Bye now.